Hello and welcome to the video. We're going to be checking out the GTA 5/6 Trailer 1 graphics, seeing any hints for the story, but mainly just nitpicking the graphics and seeing the small details that you might have not caught the first time. And for those of you wondering why it got premiered early, apparently it's because someone had leaked it and Rockstar was forced to release it because they would rather show it to the world officially instead of everyone seeing it through a leak. So that's why they did that. Okay, let's get right into it. Okay, so here we can see the cards, right? First thing I noticed, I see it's, I wouldn't say struggling, but there's little wet splotches and they're sort of just scattered around. And I noticed this with GTA 5 and how the light interacts with it. Here it looks fine. It usually, when it's not in direct line of sight, it looks a little strange and it's not perfect. Of course, when I'm really nitpicking this, I respect Rockstar and I respect the developers. They did an amazing job. I can see the distance, tall buildings, probably parts of Vice City. Big map, allegedly. Prison, somewhat looks like here. Prison. Right here, one thing that I noticed right here, there's not, and I know it's more in the distance, and this is a trailer, where the water and the bridge sort of meet. I'm going to zoom in a little closer. You can tell there's not really too much interaction going on. Same with down here, and I know that's, but like I said, this is just nitpicking. Really, those are the main things that I noticed. Render distance, of course, great. Fog looks good. Very similar to GTA 5. So we can see that there's water physics happening, which is great, instead of just, well, it already sort of did happen, but here it's looking like a lot more of it's going on. So clouds look great, a lot better than GTA 5, which is expected. Maybe volumetric, I don't know. Who knows? Probably not, because maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Okay, here we have a barbed wire fence. Here, what we're looking at is polygons, really, how smooth they are. Here, it looks really well, but we're going to look at some other ones where I think they could have done a little bit better, especially for a trailer. But then again, who am I to say? Okay, here's a nice shot. Okay, so here's a few things to break down. Here, the sun's coming through this. It's one of those windows. I don't know the name of it, so just let me know. And here, there's little fuzz particles. Again, nitpicking, but not interacting with the moving. So that would be insane if it did. The dust sort of clips through. It just suddenly disappeared right there. I mean, it's great. It adds depth into the scene. This is nitpicking, of course, but that's cool how you see ambient occlusion looks great. Subsurface scattering also with the orange reflecting back on her. Nicely exposed, but a little bit overexposed to make it a lot more realistic. The detail on her forehead with all the pores and everything is amazing. In this specific shot, there's life in her eyes. There's another one later down the line where it's a little rough. It's less rough. Right here, you can see the seals coming off a little bit. That's a cool detail. So far, the character models do look good. Maybe right here, there's not really too much shadow going on from the frame going on to the skin. There's no shadow there, especially how she's getting hit by pretty harsh sunlight during golden hour. Nice reflections here on the picture in the like plastic or glass picture frame. That's great. Sun shafts, God rays, whatever you want to call them, coming through. That's cool. But right here, you see right here, the sticky note flips up a little bit, and it's casting a shadow. That's really cool and paying close attention to detail. So, okay, here we have water. Water, of course, water. Make sure the quality's up. Water. Okay, so here's like sort of a better view of the physics. Much better looking water, of course. Oh, and dolphins right here. I don't think anybody pointed that. A dolphin and some sort of whale, it looks like. So that's cool. Or shark? Is that a shark, possibly? No, that's a shark. Yeah, that's a shark. I think that's a shark. That's going to be cool. I know there were sharks in GTA 5, but I mean, it makes sense. Is that a shark over there? Dang. Oh, that is a shark right next to the beach, so maybe there's going to be interesting stuff happening there. But water physics look great so far. Let's see over the waves. Where they're hopping over, yeah. That looks pretty cool where they're hopping over the waves and everything. We're going to take a little closer at the beach shot because I noticed a lot going on there. But yeah, I mean, this looks great. You can see how large the city is and how far it stretches. And here we get a sort of first look at Vice City, you could call it. So a lot. You're starting to see into these little residential areas and everything, into the city, main parts of the city, little park over here. Start seeing, and we're also looking at like farther distance rendering. Who knows, if this is trailer or in-game. Never really said anything like that. So here we can already start seeing interiors, sort of. So interiors, palm trees. Oh, looks like a rail crossing. Or I think that's what it looks like. I don't know. I don't live in Florida, so I don't know what that is. So it looks like a rail crossing, but like, why would there be a whatever? I don't know. Buildings look good. Porches and the interiors nice. I mean, obviously they're not gonna be walkable interiors. We got some people up there. Maybe just low quality rendering or some parallax thing. Here another plane. I think there's a plane in every single shot. Not gonna lie, I've seen so many planes, and they're flying all pretty low. So, but I mean that's a usual GTA thing. But this shot is beautiful. This reminds me of RDR2 and the swamp area. Right here, I feel like there should be a little bit more motion blur because there's too much of the grid seeing, but that's not really graphical. It's just motion. Right here, nice shot where. Who knows with the flamingos? I don't know. I didn't know there were flamingos in Florida, but we look at the vegetation. Reminds me a lot of Forza Horizon, not gonna lie. 3, to be honest. This shot right here, but I mean the trees look good. Towards the tops, I guess they sort of break apart, but the vegetation looks. Okay, right here, this one, there is so much happening, in the sense where it's like there's so many people, and something was bound to go wrong. So we see the clouds; they look great. Plane again, because why wouldn't there be? Looks like a private jet. People, of course, very smooth because they're sweating, they're hot. Little chihuahua running right here. The sand looks great right here. Of course, this is stuff that can be refined, but right now the bodies look a little. How do I say? It's soft. It's sort of like when you put the beauty filter on in some sort of app. It makes everything look soft. Like I would love to see a little bit more imperfections in the human body. The characters look a little washed out, which sort of make them feel less real. That's my takeaway. People in the background, this is all great. Over here, people on their phones, like the shadows, it looks great. I'm just confused because these people look a little too far to be standing on water. And the reason I say this is because they're already ankle deep here. Textures of the water, it looks a little iffy here. There's not really much foam. It looks a little flat texture. Same with the jet ski and the inflatable. I'll just call it inflatable tube. There's not really much texture around it. And here in the background, it looks like this dude is just floating in the air. Like floating right above the surface of the water. I don't know if that's just my eye. It just looks like he's floating right above the surface of the water right here. I don't know, I don't know. He might not be, but it just looks like it. And then you can see the beach goes on forever. Lots of different assets and things going on here. Buildings in the background. Those look great. Trees again, a little towards the top, especially with all the leaves. They do fall apart, but I mean, it looks good, right? This is nitpicking, but it looks good. Really, just the water on the beach. I wish it would. It's because that's how the same thing basically it was in GTA 5. But of course, this game is coming out in 2 years. That stuff they can always add in last minute because that's just adding stuff to the physics engine, which could either make it or break it. But yeah. Okay, moving on right here. More boats. Water physics right here. You can see plane again, of course. It's very GTA 5-y. The splashes up here. Down here, they look great. I feel like they've done very well with the physics and combining all here. This right here is still very GTA 5 splashiness up here. Or that's what it looks like. And I know GTA 5 was amazing in graphic potential. So I wasn't expecting it to be crazy. Even 5 years ago, I was like, yeah, it's probably going to look like GTA 5, of course, better with new technologies and stuff like that, but it's going to be like GTA 5 with like a graphics mod on it. I'm not saying it does look like it. It looks much better, but at the same time, it shares similarities with like those graphic mods, which makes sense because those are adding and changing the graphics. So it does make sense. Buildings in the background, and then it looks like stormy clouds right here. Stormy clouds. That's really all. I mean, up close, what's in front of you looks great. Here we're in the car with reflections. We haven't seen really a great reflection yet. This shot looks great with clouds, and I love right here. The biggest thing with this is the clouds, the light polluting the overcast or just clouds above it, because this is exactly how it looks like in the cities, where the light is reflected off the clouds as well, or reflected onto the clouds, I should say. So that like embraces the light pollution quite well. So that this is a very strong shot. Like right here, what is going on with his ponytail? But then the rest of her, it's just like one of those things. Like this looks fine, but it's hair, and video games have never been perfect, and we know that. So, but then again, with the skin, I think it's a little soft, a little bit more imperfections would have been nice. Not necessarily imperfections where there's moles or something, but imperfections where it's not smooth, like there's a beauty filter on it. That looks really good. The interior lighting, how it reflects nicely, wraps around her. So, I mean, the lighting engine is clearly, I mean, that was amazing in GTA 5, so no doubts that it's even better here. Here's a nice shot. Oh, I don't think this might be a new vehicle right here. This looks like the Chevy Tahoe. Of course, it's not going to be called the Chevy Tahoe, but I think this is a new vehicle. Right here, I mean, you have a bunch of people around. Wires look great. Maybe a little, I mean, they look great either way. Imperfections in the wires, so that's great. And the stuff that you don't notice and you don't call out is the best stuff. Okay, but here, that looks just like a 2D texture on the ground, just dollar bills. This looks fine. This doesn't look 2D. This looks like the paper bills are actually on the surface right here. Right here. One thing that I noticed, it looks really good. This shot really holds up. My only problem is right here and right here. The teeth just video game the gum, it's very flat. It's very flat. And then right here, it's the shirt. And who knows? I don't know if there's going to be cloth physics, like a tiny bit of cloth physics, which might be why it's not perfectly, it's not that it's just perfectly a straight line, but it's a little jaggedy. If you said this was a GTA 5 mod, I'd believe you. Really, I mean, besides the clouds have definitely look much better. But right here, this looks GTA 5, like this road right here. And that's how I said, like, where the cars and distant cars and that stuff, it looked really good in GTA 5, and it looks real. So because here there's not really a problem. I like how there's different parts of the water where it's a lot rough here but more still there. That makes it realistic. Here you can see it a little bit blending, but it's a little strange because you can see these lines, and who knows, I don't know if there's a waves or not, like repeated, but a little too close to each other, right? If I see one over there, okay. But these, I don't know if you can see them. Ding, 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 ding. If you see what I'm talking about. Here's a sort of night scene. Again, with the light pollution. That's good. I like that. Again, people look like they're made out of clay. But, I mean, that obviously can be improved on. A little drain cover. The curb doesn't look like it's too big. I don't know if that's specifically here, or if that's just Miami. They have short curbs, so you can run over the pedestrians easier. Lighting look good. You can see the environment, restaurants, people sitting down. That's great. Fills the space and make the city feel like a city. Like flags in the background. Really, the lighting makes it good, and with all the textures. And I think it's really just the 3D textures, personally, like on surfaces, are lacking a little bit. Where, like right here, the drain cover, it doesn't really pop out that much. It's just flat. Right here where there's little marks on the ground, flat. There's not, the curb even looks like it just goes right onto the road. Right here, maybe a little bit bump, but I mean, light looks good. I mean, this out of focus shot, like you could have taken that in real life. So that's photorealistic. Here in Light Club, great lighting. You have like a skylight or some stage light, some source going down, which nicely puts the light. Okay, right here, some more water. This looks. When I first saw this track, I was like, yep, right here. Come off right here, ramp up here, and then ramp right there as the old bridge, I guess. I don't know what that is. Maybe some observatory. Observatory. There's a lot of stuff going on here. But really, what stood out to me immediately is this right here. I don't know why my brain was just like Polygon Nation right here, and you can tell it goes right here and then it like cuts. You know, it's not like a string. It's not smooth. Right here is all like how it wraps around the body. Hair as well. I mean, it is an anti-aliasing nightmare. So you have to sort of work around it. Another plane, of course. 2 planes. That might be a little too close. And a little bit low. But yeah, I mean, water looks good here. How it wraps around right there. That looks cool. But yeah, really one thing that I noticed right here is just polygons that are just, I mean, of course that's how it made up, but I'd feel like, especially for a trailer and you're showing this, I would think that they would make a little bit like more polygons here, but this is why I think this is in game right here, because of this right here. It's just a little too noticeable for a trailer. But I mean, the lighting right here getting casted onto her body, onto her clay body, but and every body right here, they all look like they're made out of clay. So where the way it points off, like that's really good. The way it points off and it's soft. It's not like super sharp, like it cuts off right there where her nail is. That's very realistic. So right here, beautiful Vice City shot. Their thing. This is I think the ATC or the airport right here, ATC tower. But yeah, this looks like the airport right behind the. This looks like the airport right behind the Vice sign. And then here we get to the social media stuff. I mean, it does look most realistic right here, and you can see where I'm saying imperfections, where you can see the red tanness on him and the little bit of the freckles. And I mean, it's starting to be a lot more realistic. And right here, this is great. I don't know if this is a pre-rendered shot or something, but this is one of those shots where it holds up a lot better, in my opinion. Right here, right here we have a gator getting pulled out of a pool. Grass looks great. It's like this is like the 2D mixed in 3D. This is what I expect. So this is great. I mean, the vegetation looks amazing. One thing that I noticed right here, the glass and how it interacts with the light, it's very realistic. And the hair, this right here looks very realistic. That looked realistic. Okay, let's just move on. I don't know. Of course they're still working on the game, but here I see those 3D where the paint, you see where it comes up a little bit, and it's like 3D road textures, like really. So that looks great. The lighting, again, phenomenal. Electrical wires, people standing around, casting of the shadows of the people, that looks great. Some trash here. The drift smoke, that's great as well. This looks good. Electrical wires, it looks like they've done a good job with that when sculpting that one. This is a great shot. Not only because it looks realistic, but it's just a great, very funny, ironic shot. The guy just looking there, people running, the store clerk looking as well. Outside looks great. They really nailed the security camera, sort of realistic look. The plastic looks really good here, with how it's reflecting, with the light, with these paper towels. That looks photorealistic. But here we see the reflections of them on the ground. They're using, I don't know if they're using ray tracing right there. Okay, that was cool. There's a splash right here, and then it's touching right there. So I don't know if it's just how it looks, but I mean, this shot looks great. So texture, like this, even just the tattoos make the skin look more realistic. But the knees look realistic here. So and there's right here the shadow a little bit. So I mean, there's really a lot going for this specific one. Not only just the environment behind it, which looks, again, photorealistic, but it's just got a lot going with character modeling and everything, probably because it's probably one of the main characters. The hair physics look great. The sparkle of the paint, that's great. Again, with the windows, those look amazing. impressed, beyond impressed. Especially that my computer wouldn't blow up, but yeah. I mean, it looks good, but how everything works and it's a lot of motions going on. So, I mean, the jet stream isn't perfect, but it seems like he's watering too much, and that looks good. And the house looks really good. Like right here, that looks photorealistic. So there's a lot of photorealism in here and everything. The pool, I love that. That's great. Right here, this is a great shot as well, with all the mud, the beer cans shoved into the dirt. Really adds that depth to it. Trees looks great here. Trees look great. The shot looks great. I mean, look at all the detail and texture. You know, who knows if it was done for the trailer or not, but that looks like a great shot right here. Nice police cars, Crown Victoria, it looks like. And this is what, I don't know. I mean, it just got released, but people haven't really pointed out so far. But here we have the Crown Victoria sheriff car. So that's the Ford Explorer, which is cool to see more real cars coming. Great job with sculpting electrical wires, and interior look great. And right here, suddenly it looks great. I don't know if it's trailer shot, of course, but the veins right here look good. A little bit rough on the seats. Again, you can see the individual polygon lines. So, and again, nitpicking, saying that for the 15th time. You're not seeing much of it, so it does not matter that much. Just stuff that I noticed. I don't know if they made this later on or something, or if this is a trailer shot and that's why it looks better, but the skin looks a lot more realistic here for whatever reason, you know. Dollar bills look pretty good. This is probably one of those trailer shots that they did because there's a lot of extra things going on. Or, of course, it's part of the story. It looks like the Florida Highway patrol cars, so that's cool. There's certain shots where it's like the humans literally look like they're made out of clay, but then there are some shots where it's like, oh, that looks like a human skin. So right here's another shot, vegetation. Here we have motorbikes going through. Those look good. I think there's even some tire gets pushed in right here, which is cool. BeamNG stuff right there. Sticking together. I mean, I don't know if I'm just seeing stuff, but it looks like that. We have a shot of the sheriff, maybe some city cops. The farther you get along with the trailer, I don't know if I'm getting used to it. It looks a little bit more real, and it does matter under different lighting conditions. Again, with the light pollution, congrats. Whoever worked with the lighting, congrats. I mean, the reflections, the subsurface scattering, the everything. I mean, even the light pollution, something so small but so noticeable. I mean, it does make a difference. Right here, a shot. This looks really good as well. A little bit, this is more of a clay for the skin, but I mean, everything else, it looks really good. The glass bottles look good. Even the plastic ones, how that reacts with the lights, how the ceiling reacts with everything, that all looks amazing. Right here, the little goods and products hanging on the wall, that looks great with the board. Textures on the ground nicely, and the drifting, smoke, and I don't know if the tires reacting a little bit. You know, this is where the clay skin comes back a little bit, but I mean, it looks good. Right here. This is what I was talking about, where it looked, there's imperfections here that make the skin look more realistic, but it looks like she's dead inside. Like I don't know if it's the hair, I don't know what it is, but I think a little bit more extra life in the eyes. That's what I'm trying to say. But there's so much detail. This is great. All the wrinkles, the tiny wrinkles and everything. The right here, I mean, the lamp. Oh my gosh, every blurry shot in the trailer looks photorealistic. Like props, and the wood boards look great as well. Right here, blast through the doors. This shot looks great. I don't know if it's trailer specific made. Everything looks good here. Vegetation, the people. This looks good here. I mean, it looks good. As this is the final shot, it probably meant to look good. I mean, you can see the scratches in the dirt and the glass. So, I mean, if that was in the final game, that would be great. GTA 6, it's going to be coming in 2025. My prediction is quarter 3 or 4 of 2025, because that's usually when games like to come out, and also that's when GTA 5 came out in September. But who knows? It might come out in March, might come out in summer. Who knows? But I have a feeling it's going to be quarter 3 or 4 of 25, depending on what investors want with it. But so thank you all for watching. Bye bye.